What's up, everybody? Time for another video game video. Let's do Alpha 1. I haven't done Alpha 1 in a while. Let's talk about some anti-guy tech, right? And I've made some anti-guy videos before showing that his hurricane kick is actually pretty exploitable by other characters if you've actually played the game. So let's talk about another commonly complained, or some commonly complained scenarios, and that would be Guy's Bushin throw in the game is seen as quite degenerate. So let's talk about some of that in this video, right? I made a lot of clips, so remember, if you like the video, like, sub, really comment, share, support the channel. Easy for me to say. If you want, I appreciate it. Thanks. So the Bush and throw, very fast in the game, and you get a lot of damage off of it in this game as well. And it also plays into the sort of, you can roll anything in this game, 99% of the stuff in the game. So it puts you in some really sort of like frustrating situations because you're like, do I try to get out of the juggle of the Bush and throw, or do I risk basically instantly losing the match from some huge combo, right? And I always say, I think that's one of the most frustrating things of Alpha 1, perhaps if you think about gameplay design wise, and to speak a little bit more deeply about it, is that people don't like when they can't control something. And Alpha 1 is a game because of the rolling in it, and that there's not a lot of actually guaranteed stuff. It makes the game feel very volatile, and it can be very frustrating, right? So other things that can happen with the Bush and throw is, depending on the character, some characters don't even have a good way to reverse a lot of it, and Guy can actually sort of throw loop them for a little bit, right? So you can do a Bush and throw, then you do the sweep just in case they try to roll, throw, and ooh, well, Guy's hurricane kick isn't throw invincible if you do the medium or the hard kick one, right? You're like, well, what if I do the little kick one? That one's throw invincible, right? Oh, well, it doesn't have enough priority to actually go through. Yes, I said priority. Don't throw. Don't fucking just stop. Won't go through it, right? And then, of course, if you tried to roll it, so it's almost like you got to take damage. Other characters like Adon, it's like, well, fuck. Well, I'll beat my reversal. Well, if he tries it this time, I'm going to roll it this time. Oh shit, well, he's doing that anyway, right? So pretty frustrating, right? So let's remember, one of the caveats in this game, though, is that you can't throw the character with the Bush and throw if they're in the corner anyway, right? So there. He tries to do that, he just gets the elbow, I can throw him. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I can easily anti-air it, and you can even, well, look at this. I can actually walk under you, and boom. Well, now Guy just basically lost the match. So remember that, some of Guy's most annoying things, they are annoying mid-screen, right? They're not as annoying once you get to the corners. Or other examples, right? You might be like, oh, Guy's overhead, it's actually fast in this game. And although it's a little bit punishable, you're always too far away with most characters to punish it. Now, there are some characters that have a little bit of privilege, like, okay, if I did that, then Sagat can get a punish. He has a long limb. Or Birdie gets to punish it with a throw, right? But a lot of characters, or even say the flash kick, right? It can be even, well, I can block it, but if I was a little bit closer, then I could have hit him. So basically, that's sketchy to even punish. But if you're in the corner, although let's say that is, I think it's about a just frame to punish, but it is theoretically possible. And boom, oh my God, look at the damage on that. That's some Ken privilege right there. Other things that can be annoying to show that is harder or anti-Guy tech, as you might say, Guy's hurricane kick at max range can be very difficult to punish, right? And again, watch the one video that I talked about. I think I made multiple videos on Guy's hurricane kick. You can actually exploit Guy's hurricane kick with some characters, and you can actually make the move look pretty bad. But at max range, admittedly, the move can be pretty frustrating. So although some characters like Ken can just punish it from any distance for free, you would think, oh, well, Adon has a far-reaching normal. Oh, it won't hit him. Oh, fuck me. And so characters like Adon, again, I gotta waste a super to try to punish it mid-screen if it's at max range. Ryu might be like, oh, I can try to do a micro walk sweep, which is very difficult from max range. So, but again, another thing showing that if you're in the corner, though, and this is what I'm getting at, it is actually possible to, if you think about the matchup, that I'm going to theoretically corner myself, and then some of Guy's annoying habits or repertoire or arsenal of moves are not as annoying. Max distance hurricane kick, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Although, And this is to talk shit about a little Alpha 2, because what Alpha 1 video would be, how could I make an Alpha 1 video without talking shit about Alpha 2? It's just not possible, right? Of course, though, this gets into the way that Alpha 1 is somehow a better designed game than Alpha 2, because Capcom did properly do something like, well, if you can't be annoying with the hurricane kick, we did give him his fucking hop kick, backflip kick, which actually beats lows properly. Unlike Alpha 2, where it can go over the low, but then it doesn't actually hit the character ducking half the time. Great design, Alpha 2, right? At this range where we might try to be annoying with a max range hurricane kick, we do have flip kick, which works decently well and has good priority, right? And even if we're the character who would try to punish it, oh, well, I'm pretty good. Now, of course, Guy does have some, shenanigans that are corner only, like he can do the teleport kick and car cancel teleport, but this is, I can be honest, besides knock down, you know what I mean? I've seen people do it, obviously, and I don't even think it was popularized until I was doing it, but, certainly wasn't in any American strategy guide when I was doing it, and car cancel stuff like that, to be honest, to this day, I've never seen anyone do that in a real match on a standing opponent. And even me, when I played the game a little bit, it's just absurdly difficult. It takes very, very fast fingers. But I always think that if this was a game that was played more regularly, that this would be something that I would practice a little bit, because I think it's pretty fun. But again, this is deceptively difficult to do. Car cancel teleport moves takes very fast fingers, but I digress. But anyway, so let's go back to the meat and bones of this potato. The meat and bones of this potato video. the Bushin flip, because it's one of the most annoying things. So how can we counter this? Well, first of all, let's remember, if we're doing the medium kick one is not like it is hard to get out of as people act. The medium kick to Bushin flip has many different counters, okay? So boom, that. Although it can beat a stand roundhouse, most characters have moves that can beat it, right? Oh, well, I can jump it, right? I can do stand medium punch. So this is why the medium to this is actually more of a mix-up. So here, because I know he can punish it, I mix it up with a little punch, Bushin flip, so that can grab that. Again, little Bushin flip, little punch, Bushin flip. What is it called? I think the move is called Bushin flip or some shit, right? Oh, and I can even beat a DP, right? But the point is, again, this is more of a mix-up, right? Now, the real annoying thing, and the thing that can really put some characters in purgatory, is doing a hard from a sort of like very specific spot, right? So very like a sort of from the range of saying doing something like the mid-range of where your fierce might hit. And the mid-range of where your fierce might hit into Bushin flip totally fucks some characters in this game. So if we were to look at it, some examples. Boom, it beats Charlie's reversal. He can't jump out from this range. He's just fucked, right? Other characters, even if they get a reversal out of it, well, guess what? Chun-Li just died now because I can walk under her and kill her, right? Again, characters like Adon, right? Oh, it beats my reversals. Rose trying to get out. Oh, well, Rose is going to die now, right? So you can see he's trying to jump out of it. He can't. Oh, it beat the hard punch. So this is something, though, that you should take note of, right? And I hope you notice that I'm doing some things. I'm doing like a light, medium, hard, right? From just a light, medium, hard, this is like, I'm going to name this the purgatory Bushin flip. Some characters are just screwed, right? But if you're actually doing stuff like in other chains, like duck little kick, stand medium kick, or duck little kick, stand medium punch, stand roundhouse, micro walk, stand fierce, right? Those kind of shit. That kind of stuff, some characters do have ways out of, right? So Ryu, although you might think his stand forward is actually slower than the duck fierce or the stand strong, Ryu's stand forward actually beats this, okay? But again, that one is all, what I was showing here is there's like a very specific distance, right, where you want to do this to make it so you can't get out of this, right? I'll try this again. See there? Did you see I grabbed him right there? I hope you saw the red. So there's like a very specific way to time this, and the character is just fucked, right? But not super realistic to do it so it's like quotation marks inescapable is pretty specific, but just showing that it is possible. So here, and even if we were trying to reversal, oh God, well, guess what? Well, now I'm going to walk under him, kill him, right? Now, there is a little bit of to show again that there's like a sort of a sweet spot. If you do it too fast, though, this allows the character to actually get out of it with certain things because you want to get them in that sweet spot of the Bushin flip, right? So there, Ryu can hop kick out of it, right? Pretty weird, right? He can hurricane kick out of it, right? Adon can jump out of it. Sagat can jump out of it, right? Certain characters can actually try to do weird things from this range too. Like Rose can try to do her stand thing, and certainly that's better than taking a throw or just instantly getting killed, right? There's also a little bit of they call it like alternating guard. I'm not even sure, I wouldn't call it exactly alternating guard, although in the hyper alpha version of the game, they actually did seemingly add this just period, which I've showed before. Hyper alpha actually, when they put this game in the hyper alpha version of the game, you can jiggy the controller and it just doesn't allow you to be thrown. This game has a sort of jiggy where if you like go to neutral for a second, right when a throw is about to hit you, then you can, well, I got out of it. See, I didn't get thrown. Now, because he got hit ducking though, I could have actually done a dizzy combo on him. So that ain't good, but just showing theoretically possible. Again, he went to neutral for a second, did a little jiggy, so he didn't get thrown, but ooh, he got hit ducking, and that's deep, so he just lost the match. But just a weird thing that's in the game. I'm not sure if it's just some sort of just frame thing of going to neutral and then pressing at the same time. Again, I know people would probably not believe me. I'm not an expert on Alpha 1, certainly. It's a game I played as a kid, so I know a little bit about it. And then, years ago, I played it again online and everything like that. So I have more knowledge about the game maybe than a normal person, but certainly I wouldn't say I'm an expert on the game. But there is a little bit of a jiggy jankness in this game. And certain characters do actually have ways that you might think, well, what about a character like Birdie? Does Birdie have anything to get out of this? Well, if Birdie is charging, he can Bushin head flip out of it, right? Again, just an example showing that again. It's a guy, he's holding, you can already see he's holding up and he's just stuck in block and he just gets fucked, right? Because he's in that purgatory zone. And so we have this example. I did this move too early right here. So Ryu can walk under and oh God, I just lost the entire match. Boom. See there, did you see he tried to walk under but he got hit because he was in the purgatory zone, right? The purgatory zone where you're just fucked. Again, the purgatory zone. Boom, tried to meet him. Do you see? Purgatory zone. So anyway, just want to show that off because it's a commonly complained thing about in the game that they're like, how the fuck do I get out of the Bushin flip? Because it's very fast in the game. And hopefully you saw from this video that to actually make it so it's impossible to get out of, and I say impossible, but let's say where it does not feel cheap. To make it so it actually doesn't feel cheap, or to make it so it actually feels legitimately cheap and your character, a lot of characters can't really do anything, does require a specific setup, right? But a lot of distances, you would be surprised, you actually can jump out of it, even the fierce one. A lot of characters do have moves that you might not think of. You might think that Ryu's stand medium kick is slow, but Ryu's stand medium kick actually does get out of it. Characters do have some weird moves that can get out of it. Medium kick to Bushin flip is never real, quotation marks real, but fierce to Bushin flip can be real from a specific distance, so it can be very frustrating. It is obviously a very strong move in the game, period. But there's also ways to discourage Guy because, remember, you can corner yourself, period. And when you are cornered, Guy can't throw you. Hurricane kick is no longer hard to punish. Guy has to rely on other tools to mix you up. The overhead doesn't work as well. So although overhead is still hard to punish, but at least in the final version of the game, and I say this loosely because I don't actually think this is well balanced, but in the final version of the game, the last hit of the running overhead only does 1 point of dizzy. So that's kind of retarded, to be honest with you. But I guess they just were like, they're like, fuck it, the move just does too much dizzy, so we're just gonna only have the first hit do dizzy. But obviously, you probably do an overhead to hit with the overhead part, but you know, it is what it is. He had a re-dizzy combo in the first version of the game, which is, again, as I've said before, not something that's super realistic anyway. It's there, but it's harder and more specific to do than you would think. And he does have a re-dizzy even in the final version of the game, but you know, good luck doing that, right? You got to be versed like specific characters to even do it. But you know, regular dizzy combos possible, but a lot of the re-dizzy combos, you know, it's just kind of not super realistic to do in real matches. So anyway. Remember, if you like the videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel if you want. Appreciate it. Thanks. The end.